It's funny. Sometimes a guide that looks super simple, a basic how-to, ends up pulling back the curtain on something way, way more complicated. And that is exactly what happened here. Someone just shared their little guide for installing Windows Server on Proxmox, and well, it opened up a whole can of worms. So what started as just a helpful little tip, it quickly spiraled into this huge debate about these wild performance claims, driver stability, and, the big trade-offs we all make when we pick our tech. So this isn't just about one install guide. Nope. This is really a deep dive into that massive gap between what the official docs say and what actually happens in the real world. All right, so here's how it all kicked off. It starts with this community guide. And on the surface, it looked perfect. Straightforward, practical. You could tell it was battle-tested. Exactly what you're looking for, right? But buried inside was this one tiny but absolutely critical little detail that was totally different from the official way of doing things. And this is where it gets really interesting. The guide said, hey, when you're doing the install, load only the storage driver, just the storage driver. Worry about the network driver after you boot up for the first time. And you got to ask, why? Well, turns out it was just smoother. It worked better. And that little workaround, that was our very first clue that maybe, just maybe, the official way wasn't the best way after all. So the conversation is just, humming along. People are sharing tips, a few tricks here and there, and then, bam, someone drops an absolute bombshell that just stops the entire thread dead in its tracks. It was a performance claim so absolutely wild, it completely changed the vibe of the entire conversation. And there it is, the quote. Someone says they enable these Hyper-V enlightenments, which are basically a set of special optimizations to make Windows run better as a virtual machine, and they saw get this, a 5 to 10 times performance boost. Now let's be real. In the world of infrastructure, you are fighting tooth and nail for a 2% gain, maybe 5% on a good day. A claim like 10x, that doesn't just raise eyebrows. It makes you question everything you thought you knew. Seriously, let's just stop and think about that number for a second. 10 times faster. A number that huge, it has its own gravity, right? It just sucks the entire conversation into its orbit. Suddenly, everyone's wondering, wait, am I missing out? Is there some secret sauce setting I don't know about? So, of course, the big question just hangs there in the air. Is a 10x gain even realistic? Is that even possible? Or, and this is the other side of the coin, if it is possible, does that just mean the starting setup was completely, totally broken to begin with? You could almost feel the skepticism through the screen. It was immediate. And this comment just nails the counter-argument perfectly. 5x is a wild number. It feels so real, so grounded. That is the voice of experience right there, basically saying, hold on a second, when you see gains that big, it usually means something was really, really wrong in the first place. And that skepticism, it pivoted the whole chat away from chasing some mythical performance boost and towards a much more important question: what actually works? What's stable? Okay, this is where we get to the real meat of the issue. Once the shock of that 10x claim started to wear off, the conversation shifted to something we can all relate to, right? That much more common and frankly super frustrating reality of just getting the drivers to work properly. And this image just captures the core conflict perfectly. It's like you've got two different universes. On one side, you have the official documentation. It's neat, it's tidy, it's a perfect checklist. And on the other side, you've got the reality that actual users are living in. A total mess of workarounds, downgrading drivers, and just pure trial and error, all in the name of finding something that's actually stable. And yeah, that reality is messy. We're talking about people having to ditch the modern recommended VirtIO network drivers and go back to the old, clunky, but stable E1000 emulation. People were digging up older driver versions just so their disks would show up. These aren't small tweaks, This is people actively running away from the recommended path just to get a stable system. In this quote, man, it just sums up the whole problem, doesn't it? The Windows storage stack is messy. Think about it. Drivers are the absolute foundation of your VM. It's like building a house. If that concrete slab is cracked and shaky, do you really trust the rest of the building? Everything you build on top of it is at risk. And it sounds like a lot of developers are learning that lesson the hard way. What's so cool about this whole thing is how you start to see these three distinct groups of people emerge. Three different camps, all looking at the exact same problem, but coming at it from totally different angles. It's like a perfect little snapshot of any tech community, really. Okay,
So first up, you've got the optimists. These are the folks who see that 10x claim and their eyes light up. They're all about tweaking and tuning for every last drop of performance. Then you've got the cautious camp. They're the ones with the magnifying glass, questioning everything, pointing out the risks. But then there's my favorite group, the pragmatists. These are the people with the duct tape. They don't care about theory or what's supposed to work. They just care about what does work, even if it's ugly.
And this right here, stability beats elegance, that is the pragmatist's anthem. And honestly, it's often the most truthful voice in the room. I mean, who really cares if you're using the latest, greatest, most elegant driver if some older, clunkier version is the one that actually keeps the server from crashing? That's the thing that lets you sleep at night. It's not glamorous, but for a lot of us, it's the truth. So, when you take a step back from all the talk about drivers and performance numbers, you start to realize this whole conversation isn't really about a Windows install. It's about a much bigger, almost philosophical choice that a platform like Proxmox forces you to confront. So what's the real story here? What's the big takeaway? It's not that Proxmox is bad or that installing Windows is impossible. Not at all. The real story is about the fundamental trade-off that you're signing up for the moment you choose a tool like this. And this is it right here. On one side, you have control. Proxmox gives you all the knobs, all the levers, all the gears. You can tune everything. But that control comes with a heavy dose of responsibility. You actually have to know what all those knobs and levers do. You're trading the simplicity of a big, friendly, easy button for the raw power and the complexity of a pilot's cockpit. And that, right there, is the ultimate takeaway. There is no single clean path. There isn't one right way. There's just the way that happens to work for your specific hardware, your specific workload, and frankly, your own personal tolerance for tinkering. The very same flexibility that might unlock that mythical 10x performance gain is the exact same thing that creates all this chaos and uncertainty. And once you really wrap your head around that trade-off, all of this hidden chaos, it actually starts to make a weird kind of sense.